I've been to treatment more times than you have, Matt.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah. And it's not something that I'm proud of. You know, I smile now because it's a part of my story, and it is an asset that I'm self-aware now. I know what doesn't work, but I've been to treatment over 32 times.
Is this going to be your last time?
I hope so.
Hey guys, welcome back to Full Belly Podcast. My name is Matt Bell. I am your host, and I just want to thank you again for coming and watching us talk about how our lives used to be completely empty. We were starving, and how somehow, some way, we have figured out a way with the help of other people to get filled up. We're full. We're full of life. We're full of all sorts of things, and we like to talk about that and bring on guests to our show to explain how they have done that, or how they are looking to do that, and things that have and have not worked in their lives. And so we're really excited to get into it. We got a great guest today. But before we get into that, I want to take a time out and ask anybody that's watching to please like and subscribe, or whatever it is, follow us, whatever. It's called different things on different channels. But we put this on a lot of different platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Just make sure that you follow us, please, so that you can see more episodes that are coming out. And please make sure that you share this with somebody if something resonates with you. So I would appreciate that. And I think that everybody else would appreciate that too. I think another person that would appreciate that is our co-host for the show. His name's Juan.
Hello. Good day.
You guys know who Juan is. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Juan.
I don't know about that, but
everybody knows Juan. Juan recently switched to a live streaming platform called we've had this for a while. It was One-on-One, and we were doing kind of pre-recorded and putting a buffer as an intro and an outro and uploading these things. But man, Juan's a in the moment kind of guy.
Let's roll.
Like, let's go. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. If it feels right, it feels right, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
When is that One-on-One?
Wednesdays. So we do them on Wednesdays at 1:00. So
what?
Wednesday, one-on-one on Wednesdays at 1:00.
At 1.
With Juan.
At 1.
At 1:00.
At 1:00 with 1.
Wednesday at 1:00. Tune into One-on-One if you want to know something. Wonderful.
Wanda's your next guest, too.
I just spit bars.
Yeah, you did. That was good. That was actually really good. I'm impressed. Completely unscripted, by the way.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. How you been, man?
Good, dude. Good. Man, come on. Look at our life, man. Life's good, man. Like you said, we used to have empty bellies, man. Best day of my life. Good friend of mine says it's the best day of my life. How can it not be? Seriously.
We're above ground.
Man, we're above ground, breathing air with opportunities and chances and choices at our freaking footsteps, at our doorsteps, at our steps and steps.
Mm-hmm. Stepsons, too.
Stepsons and stepdaughters that I don't have, but I could get with. Yeah. I'm a little sick.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know, dude. I think it's the Canadian fires that are just seeping into my.
All right, we don't have to get discriminatory here. There's nothing. We love Canadians. We don't. All right, there's nothing wrong with Canadians.
It wasn't a feeling; it was a fact. I was just presenting. It's in Canada, like it's a Canadian fire, and its smoke is coming towards me.
It's a little. We try to keep things clean here on this show. Try to keep things clean on this fucking show. All right. All
right. Shout out Rob, Dr. Rob.
Not clean at all. He literally talked about how he stabbed his wife.
Yeah, that was wild.
All right. It's all right. Whatever. No judgment here.
None.
Why are you sick? How did you get sick for real?
I have no clue, dude. I have a couple conclusions. There's 3 things, but one of them for sure is not real. Just so you guys know and everybody else knows, the one conclusion that I know is not real is the fact that I didn't get it from vaping. That's certain.
Oh, okay. It's interesting.
But
it's interesting. It's interesting you can be certain that it didn't happen from that, but you can say that a fire in Canada caused you to get sick.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that right now. But I quit vaping.
No, you didn't. You got a vape in your pocket right now. Empty your pockets. Empty your pockets. Look, you see him tuck that off? Did you get that on camera? You better. Yeah, come on. Come on.
I don't got a vape.
What is that, a strawberry lemonade?
I got a vape.
Is that a strawberry lemonade? Strawberry?
It's strawberry.
That's a
Look, Linda, listen, Linda.
That's a Stefan Marbury. That's a strawberry lemonade vape. That's a Stefan strawberry lemonade vape, dude.
Strawberry. Oh man, don't look at me like that, Matthew.
I'm looking at you like this, dude. We're gonna do this every time.
Damn, dude.
Every time, dude. So aside from the fact that these things fucking kill you, that you pay $20 a fucking week for these things, or more probably, that you're ingesting these chemicals that nobody knows anything about, that you're literally shortening your life every single time that you do it, so you can taste some strawberry lemonade, so you can literally just remove yourself from this earth that you are so fortunate to be on in the first place, that you get to take yourself away from your family and your friends and your finances and all this stuff, these vapes, that's what they do for you. In addition to all of that, you get to take your nasty hands that you touch on every single door handle, every single desk, every single pen, every single person's hands that you shake, and then you get to touch your vape and put it up next to your mouth 40 times a day, 50 times a day, 100 times a day, and just get extra germs, get extra bacteria. Just suck it all in, dude. Suck those germs right in, dude.
Fuck, man.
Just bring them right in.
Fuck.
Suck them.
This man hates vapes, dude.
I truly, if I could,
God.
I don't know.
I love that you hate him.
I hate them because they're just ruining people.
But the truth is, Mary got sick, and I think I got sick because Mary got sick. Because we got the same sick.
Don't deflect
Mary
here.
doesn't
Don't
even
deflect
vape,
here.
dude.
It has nothing to do with Mary.
I think I ate one of Mary's chips out of her chip bag one day, and I got sick. But it wasn't from vaping.
You know how she got sick?
From me vaping.
From somebody else vaping and touching the damn door handles up here.
Look, dude, you know me. I swim with my eyes open underwater in Lake Erie and the Maumee River. I freaking will lick the door handle just because it feels right in the moment. And the odds are that I will probably do something way worse than that. I might lick the door handle on my car.
I just want to see you be here, man.
All right, that's better. That's better. That approach feels a lot better than your indignant, freaking self-righteous, freaking approach to smacking me like.
Here's the thing.
That.
I've tried the love approach with you.
Yeah.
I've tried it, dude. I've come at you damn near in tears, telling you how much I love and care about you, how much I want you to be here for everybody.
Do you guys feel the tension in this conversation right now? Can you guys feel this? Holy crap! Oh, whoa.
We need some music to cut the ice. You can make fun of me for something. Do you want to just shoot back?
No, I don't.
Come on, give it to me.
Do that.
Make fun of me for something.
I won't do that.
You want to, though.
I'll make fun of you about something.
Come on, give it to me.
I ain't gonna do that.
Let's bring on our guest, man.
Before we do that, you walk like Brian Herrick, bro. Yeah, mountain goat foot having ass, dude. Bro, you hear me?
Ryan, mountain goat foot having ass.
You old mountain good climbing foot and fucker. I'm telling you something.
You're something else, dude. Mountain goat.
I said a gut. Yeah, let's bring our guest on, bro.
We got Josh, man. We got Josh in the house. We got Josh Hodge in the house, man. Come on, Josh.
Come on, get in here, baby boy.
Bring it in for the real thing.
Oh, we knocked over the sign on accident.
That's okay.
Welcome, Josh. Welcome.
It's all right.
Throw them things on, bro. Put them on your ears.
What's up, guys?
What's up, bro? Some love? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Ain't it, though?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Doesn't it feel good in here?
I feel like I'm sitting in between a couple heads from Mount Rushmore. Right
Oh,
Yo.
the backdrop.
Yeah.
Well, no, the live drop right here, man.
the
You guys
live-
are living legends, you know.
Oh, come
in
on,
the
man.
recovery community, man.
Oh man.
Look, man, you're sitting between. I look like I'm 78 with my grays on that boy. Look at that. Seasoned.
Yeah, I told him.
I've been vaping for 92
I told him
years.
yesterday, Matt. I said, "Why does it look like you're wearing a toupee in the?" I said, man, they did you dirty with the gray strokes, bro.
They put a lot of grays on there.
Yeah, I said, Matt's looking all fresh and
Look at him. Look at that
fresh and
gaze,
young.
dog.
Yeah, I got no grays, but the reality is they missed them though because I got a couple grays popping in, dude.
Man.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at fucking
We both
Lightning
look
Jack.
like we're smoothed out though.
Yeah, bro.
We look like we done
I like them,
Botoxed out and wrinkle free.
Oil of Olay. Oil of
Creamy, dude. We do a facial. We do skincare
Skin
every day.
That's that fetal cell treatment.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're taking what's that? PRP platelet rich plasma.
Yeah.
Doing vampire facials.
I
and
told
shit.
you about how I got upsold in the mall. Remember when I got the face?
Oh, that cute
serums?
girl. Yeah,
yeah. Man.
Dang. She upsold you. She upsold you so hard.
Bad, bro.
Walking through, went to the mall for something on his way out.
Almost $400
Cute girl at the booth says, "Oh, excuse me, sir.
for Vaseline.
Take this Vaseline that's got a nice label on it and rub it on your face. It's going to help so much. Your face is like perfect already."
Man, bro, she put a little fan on my face. You know what I mean? Was wiping it down. Wipe me down.
She gave you a fake phone number.
Gave me
before you bought it.
Right. I called it and his name was Gilberto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At that point, you had to buy it. You couldn't say no. She gave you the number. You had to flex.
Yeah, and then they were like, "You get a free facial. Come back Saturday at 1." I came and the store was closed.
The whole store was gone, bro.
Yeah.
It was a fake store from the beginning.
Yeah.
She sold Vaseline with a fake label on it.
Yeah. Damn.
She said it's only $400.
Right. It was 2 products, bro. It was 2. And I was like, all right, I'll get the first one. You know,
You've been using them?
Bad. No.
He just comes in caked up with
It's
Vaseline.
just sitting at my house, and I'm like, dude, this is stupid.
That's amazing. She got you.
I'm just being honest.
She got you so hard.
She got me.
Josh, I feel like I know that you are I don't know if performer is the right word. You do a lot of stuff, I feel like, which I can't wait to talk about. But like when we were sitting down, like, hey, are you comfortable with the mic? Are you nervous? Like, you're like, no, this is what I do. This is what I do. So I feel like you're like much further along than a lot of people in terms of like press, current affairs, media, marketing, stuff like that. Right?
Yeah. I've done a lot of things.
So I think that this is going to be perfect because I just want to go through and talk because my kids said something to me the other day where they was like, where do you guys want to go eat? And I wanted like one of those little, like a slush and soft serve ice cream mixed together.
Oh, yeah.
Nettie's has them. So I was like, I want to go to Nettie's and get the blueberry freeze, whatever thing it's called. And they were like, ew, I don't want to eat a glizzy. And I was like,
Yeah.
what's a glizzy? I had no clue what a glizzy was. What? So I want to talk about other terms like glizzy that kids are using nowadays, like hot trending words that people and terms that people are talking about.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you guys if you know these words, and I just hope that you can use them in a sentence. Okay. Gucci.
I'm good. I'm Gucci, baby. Let's keep it pushing.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
IYKYK.
If you know, you know.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Well, YK.
If you know, you know. I know.
Okay, so obviously we know what OMG is, but what about ONG?
On God.
Yes.
Man on God.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I feel like I've heard of On God, but I didn't know there was an abbreviation for it. I feel like it would be OG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why they throw an extra letter in there and confuse everything?
I'm with you.
On God. Slay.
I'm about to slay this.
Yeah, yeah. Or like there's a new term for it. It's like when your picture looks good, right?
Oh, slay?
Yeah, like I'm slay. That's
Okay. What about snatched?
snatched.
I snatched your mama at the bar.
Yeah, that's only.
So apparently snatched means like also like slay, like looks good, perfect, or fashionable.
Really?
Okay.
It's the new on fleek.
Oh, okay. I've
See what
heard,
I'm
like,
saying?
You're eating or she ate, from a picture. Like that's a new one that's out there too.
She ate.
Interesting. Okay, let's see. What about cap?
No cap.
Yeah, no cap.
What is cap though?
Like lying.
No line, no bullshit.
Yeah.
So cap means
I'm
fake or
serious.
lie.
Yeah.
No cap means
Man, cap.
It's like
Yeah, like I'm telling the truth. Like, man, no cap. I ain't capping.
Right.
okay.
You didn't know about glizzies? No cap.
No, yeah. On ONG.
Yeah, ong.
What's a noob? You know what a
New,
noob
a
is?
new person, a newbie.
Yeah, newbie, short for newbie.
Yeah. Okay. What about? Okay, so this is a real thing. Period. Period.
Does it have a different meaning?
See,
Period.
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 Like throw a silent D on there and throw the T. Period.
Yeah,
Period.
that's new to me.
You know what it means?
No. Period.
Like point blank, like
yeah. Like
Oh.
an end of the statement. Like this is the best ice cream. Period.
period.
How about this one? This one I feel weird talking about. It just seems weird. Simp.
Man, you
What's a simp?
simping. You simping. You're simp.
A simp is, somebody that gets take advantage of females or might get intimidated around girls. It's just real simple guy, real simple minded man.
Is that okay? So
You got
this
pimps and simps.
really?
Yeah.
So, oof.
Somebody that gets advantage taken of on the internet also that comes from like the Twitch streaming community.
Damn, you know a lot about this stuff.
Man, you hear him?
So this thing's saying it's someone who does way too much for the person they like or to have a huge crush on someone. So the guy that gets taken,
Yeah, he
he's
gets
a
taken
simp.
advantage of
like,
by a
oh
girl.
man, you're a simp.
Yep.
dude.
Yeah. Simping.
Oh, you ain't
Simping.
trying to kick it with the homies because your girl's gonna get mad. Quit simping, bro.
Yup.
The man simping.
Oh my gosh.
He said.
What about
simple.
sus?
Suspicious.
Yeah,
You
suspect.
suspicious.
It comes from the game Among Us. Among Us, the player that
Yep.
you don't know is the killer or not. That's why it's sus.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a fire.
What
game.
about taupe?
I know. Taupe. I don't know.
What you think?
Taupe is dope. Taupe is dope. So,
It's 2 words.
Totally player. Or
totally
something like
dope.
Tight and dope.
Tight and dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're the same thing. You know?
Well, they say it out in the Bay Area, so that upcoming rapper out that way, young homie, real progressive. he always talk. He has taupe in a lot of his.
Yeah, I never heard that
lot of
one.
his shit.
Oh man, I just clicked some damn link I shouldn't have clicked on. I don't know what I just clicked on. We might have to call it a day.
A day to call it. Today.
So let's talk about some dating language. Ready for this?
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Tell me.
This is the parties, drugs, and sex category.
Whoa,
So 53X.
53 times.
That is another way to write out the word sex because the 5 and the 3.
Okay.
X. So I guess some places you can't. I guess type it.
Uh.
What's somebody's body count?
How many people? they
How many
slept
people you been with?
Damn.
with? Bodies.
Who's the plug?
It's your drug dealer, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Somebody plug walk.
He acted like he didn't know. He's like, it's your drug dealer, isn't it? No, I don't know for sure. Like, I can't be certain. But
I mean, it's somebody giving you something, right?
yeah.
Somebody.
He's simping.
Yeah. You need a job, yo. My boy Chris is the plug over at the call center. Hit him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On God. Ong.
Ong.
G.
Ong.
Ongy.
Ong. Period.
LMIRL.
Let me know in real life or something.
Let's meet in real life.
Yeah.
Some online chat talk.
Yeah.
Shit.
Limeral.
Limeral. WTTP.
WTTP.
What the? Where? Why?
Want to trade photos?
I was
Some
thinking
online
that.
talk,
I was
man.
thinking
Isn't that
that.
crazy? There's a whole underground language for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, bro. If you're like doing some weird, if you're doing some online stuff and somebody hits you with the WTTP, you're like, yeah, they ain't the cops. They're not sus and they ain't capping. So I'm not going to treat them like a simp.
I don't know. I would think they were sus if they WTTP with all the Pizzagate stuff going on.
Yeah,
We're not
you threw
gonna
an
touch
extra.
base.
You threw an extra T in there though. You ran 3 T. You
it's
said
sus to me.
WTTP.
For the kids that don't know this, because I feel like OG is what's
Ong.
OG? What's OG? Just take the N out of there. What's the OG?
The OG is original gangsta.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
I felt like that was worth saying because all these kids are just complicating stuff nowadays.
Right. Just keep it OG, bro.
Just keep it OG.
Just keep it OG. Keep it simple. Straight to the point.
Keep it simple.
It's
Simple.
fascinating, right? Because these kids sit in the house these days and don't do much, but they had to shorten their language because they're so busy.
Right.
Initialize
Let me make
everything.
it more
you know?
convenient for me to just type less words.
Right. Let me get back to what's that game that they're all playing
Call of Duty?
these days? Call of Duty or the other game?
Minecraft or I don't know.
Fortnite.
That's what it
and
is, yeah.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to get back to their game playing.
Unbelievable. Josh, tell us about you, bro. Where are you from?
What's up, man? Well, I hail from East Toledo.
Okay.
Born and raised over there.
05?
Toledo, of course.
The Sunrise side of town.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I mean, fortunately, but not unfortunately.
Oh, hey, I'm from the east side too.
Yeah.
That's where I came from. Well, the far east side. I was like,
Which is called Oregon.
Northwood, and Oregon. But
Yeah.
that's where I landed in my addiction, and I was there.
Yeah, I grew up on Willow and Earl, thus the name Earl Willow on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Damn, I should think about something like that. Yeah. I was on Star and Willard.
Star Will.
Willard Star.
Will
I
Star.
could call myself
Willard Star?
Willard Star. World Star. That's my name, dude. Willard Star. World Star. What?
Holler at my boy Willard Star, dude.
On God.
Man, on the mamas. Mama.
So from the east side, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay.
Just turned 36 on June 3rd.
Where'd you go to school? Wait.
Yeah, East Toledo, East Side Central. All the schools that I went to had East in them.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you bounce around from school to school, or
No,
was it just like going from like
East Side Central to
middle-
East Toledo Junior High, and then I went to Wait for a year, and then I was homeschooled. I got into Odella Homeschooling Academy, and I graduated early.
Gotcha. So what when did you start to get into music? Have you always loved music?
Yeah. So I actually started with a group called Mad Poet Society. There's a guy by the name of David Bush. It stood for Making a Direct Difference. It was based out of the Mott Branch Library, and we were taught slam poetry. And it was we would do slam poetry, anti-drug campaigns, and I was taught about hip hop as a culture, as a way of life, not necessarily just music, right? Because hip hop's been responsible of breaking down color barriers, breaking down the barriers between social classes and stuff, you know. And David Bush was a great man. A couple other people. We would go to like the youth facilities around the state, and we would do programs and anti-drug campaigns and nonviolent campaigns and stuff like that. And so I really started to take it serious at that point. And shout out to my juvenile probation officer, Pete Wilson. He took notice into my slam poetry and really started to push me into writing more. And
So it started
took
off
off
with
from
more
there.
of like a more of an artistic, and also like more of a like what it stood for. Like
Yeah.
more of like community and like bringing people together, that
Yes,
something
sir.
that everybody could appreciate regardless of where you were from, what you've been through, something like that. It was like a
The writing aspect started actually when I was like 10, 11 years old, because I was writing Hallmark cards. That's where I thought I was going to be. Yeah, I thought I was going to take off and write Hallmark cards for a living. And then as I started to pick up into music, I didn't even ever heard rap music when I started writing. I was raised very closeted by my grandparents, and they were like hillbilly Bible people, you know, and
Gotcha.
they were like real Christian. And the first rap music I heard was ICP, and they hated it.
What?
Oh, yeah.
My uncle showed me some ICP,
You
and
great flamenco
you know, I
dude.
didn't even think they rapped that good, right? So
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
started rapping, or when I started writing, it was Hallmark card poetry, stuff like
Gotcha.
that.
So at what point in your life, you said you were raised sort of sheltered, you're homeschooled in high school. When did you start to experiment with like substances? How old were you?
As 12 and 13 years old, I moved in with my mother, and because my grandparents had raised me, my mother took the role as more of wanting to bond with me by giving me a little bit of freedom. And I had always hung around older people. And so when I was 13, I was hanging out with 16, 17, 18-year-olds over by the Weiler homes in that area. And I wanted to get along. You know, I was the white kid in a predominantly black neighborhood, you know, and so I started taking, you know, Percocets, or not Percocets, but Darvocets and Vicodin. That's how long back. I don't even think they make them anymore.
Probably not.
You know,
Pink
Darvocets, yeah, they were pink fat things, you know, one or two. And it just started basically to socially fit in.
Yeah.
You know, and I was
So it started with you with pills, with opiates.
I think actually it started though I was an overweight kid in elementary school, and I was really smart. So I skipped from 1st to 3rd grade, and it started with insecurity, right? And it started with the behavior. So I had the addictive personality before I ever picked up anything. I was eating my feelings, you know, which I know a lot of people say that they started from them. I was eating my feelings, and because I was intelligent, I was like the butt of all the jokes. You know, I was the overweight smart kid in school, and it really taught me to not be who I was. You know, I had to put a mask on in front of everybody and to do whatever it took to fit in.
So when did it really take off for you?
It really took off for me freshman year
Of high school?
Of high school,
So
yeah.
before you were homeschooled?
Yeah, well, because I started skipping school.
Gotcha.
And in order for me to get to the drugs and the crowd faster, I got into homeschooling, you know, because I was skipping anyway. And really, school just held me up. It held my brain up from being able to. I graduated early once I got into homeschooling because I could spend. The thing is, they probably would have failed me for my behavior in school, but my proficiency testing was off the charts. You know, like I was too smart for them to fail me. I was in all honors classes when I started in junior high, and by growing in and meeting new people and expanding my horizon and criminal activities I started taking place in and stuff like that, that's when I ended up dropping out.
So let's talk about that when it really took off. Like, give us a Cliff Notes version of what it turned into. Like, how long were you in active addiction? Decade, 15 years,
Couple decades.
So those 20 years, like, summarize it for us. What did it consist of?
All right. It started off as just social activities, you know, going to the weekend parties, maybe smoking some weed on the way to school. And then as I got a little bit older, a little bit of powder came out as maybe sophomore year, but that was only on the weekends, maybe once a month or so. And then I don't know if you guys remember Casper's. Do you remember the teen nightclub?
I remember.
Yeah, so I was spending a lot of time out in Casper's in Perrysburg, you know, and that's where cocaine really started to take off and become a part of my life, as well as ecstasy. And once I found though Percocets, it was like being hugged by God. The feeling.
Wow.
And I think that in my brain, I related the feeling and euphoria that I got from Percocets to the hugs that I got from my grandmother as a child, right? Because that warmth, that love, that chemical feeling that you got naturally as a kid is what opiates did for me later on in life. And so by the time I by the time I was on Percocets, all right, I was just eating them for a few years, and then I was going with a friend, went out of town one time, and we were going out of town to make a larger drug deal in Marion, Ohio. And I was like, I've been up for 3 days because we were doing what we were supposed to take and selling. And the guy's like, well, here, do one of these. And he flipped me a tan little pill. I didn't know what it was. So out came a hose clamp, and somebody started using them. And if you know what that is, it was a 40 milligram oxy. And when I did that, it was like, I thought that Percocet was like being hugged by God. Yeah. This was like...
You got hugged by God and your grandma at the same time.
At the same time, you know? And I'm like, where have you been all my life? You know, now... And so that took over for a couple years, and I didn't even know what withdrawals were, right? I didn't understand what withdrawals could be until one day I couldn't find any Oxycontin. Dr. Hall got busted.
Yeah,
you remember that? All right, you remember Dr. Hall? He had the East Side. East Side was ground zero for this stuff, man, and it was flooded from there. And Dr. Hall got busted. There was no Oxycontins around. And it took a couple weeks for the Detroit boys to come down when they came. I mean, I'm going into some historical facts here for the addiction historical facts. You know, that's a part of my story. This is my truth. And when I couldn't find no Oxycontins, now it felt like I was being touched by the devil.
Yeah.
I went from being hugged by God and my grandmother to being beat by the devil from that feeling. You know, no sleeping, legs and arms twitching, not having no idea what was going on. And that went on for a couple weeks, man. And then when the guys came down from Detroit, because when I was on oxys, not even the dope that was around at that time could touch the oxys, right? Because it was synthetic heroin.
Right.
It wasn't until fentanyl hit the streets and from the Detroit guys that any of us was able to find any type of relief. Because you got to think, my whole community, the whole structure of the East Side was based off of getting money from Dr. Hall. Dr. Hall was giving people a way to feed their families as well as their addiction. And
it was literally the resource for economy on the East Side.
Yeah, the whole economy.
It's what kept everything moving.
Yeah, yes it was. And once that happened and the Detroit guys came down, all right, that's when I got introduced into heroin. Now I had another guy, I had a buddy that had a plug, right, the connection, and I was selling drugs for quite some time, and I was able to maintain my habit. And it wasn't until he died that I really started getting serious trouble. Basically, make a long story short, my addiction has been textbook progression. And by the time I was a drug dealer for quite some time, the plug died. And at that point, I had like a 5-paper habit, you know what I mean, at a time, 5-paper shot habit. So my body went through like seizures and stuff because of this, right? And so that's when I turned to a full-time junkie. As opposed to the drug dealer, you know, when I had it coming, I was able to maintain, and I had nice clothes and this, that, and the third. He passed away. I got into some serious trouble because now financially I couldn't afford the monster habit that I created.
You gotta rob, steal, and cheat.
You know it, man. And my life took a very dark turn, and I started manipulating people and taking advantage of people.
Yeah. And so when was the first time you got clean? How many times have you been to treatment?
I've been to treatment more times than you have, Matt.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah. And it's not something that I'm proud of. You know, I smile now because it's a part of my story, and it is an asset that I'm self-aware now. I know what doesn't work, but I've been to treatment over 32 times.
Is this going to be your last time?
I hope so. I'm fighting to keep it that way.
What's the biggest thing that you've learned in those? Because here's the thing, man. I believe this wholeheartedly, that somebody that goes to treatment 32 times, A, is a fucking fighter, and B, will not give up, right? And then C, more than anything else, dude, you have learned so much through failure over and over again. What's working, what's not working. And I know that if you're able to look inside and be honest and be like, what is it? What am I not doing? Like, or what am I doing that is working? Or what makes me fail every time I go back out? Like, if you can figure, you have a lot of data, right? Like you have a lot of like data to come up with an analysis and say like, what is the answer or what isn't the answer? Whereas someone that goes the first time, this is all brand new information to them. They don't know. Let's just give a shot to whatever they say. So like, what have you figured out in those 32 times to say, what does work for me and what does not work for me?
So I know first and foremost not to trust my own thoughts. All right, because I am self-destructive, okay, and I'm my own worst enemy in a lot of times, and pride and ego has been like the number one thing to tear me down every time, right? And I can pinpoint the exact cycle that's happened every time.
What is that?
So I get into treatment, okay, I get some help, I get a little bit of clean time underneath me, and instead of sticking it all the way out to become self-sustaining, I try to get back into life too fast. And I end up either living with a female and that doesn't work out, and then I end up living with my mother, right? I love my mother to death, but we are oil and water. Okay. You know, and so it ends up putting me to a place to where my housing becomes unstable. My housing becomes unstable, and I end up back in the streets. Whether that's trying to deal drugs to come up with some quick money to have a place to live, or full on using. Now, this last time that I came back in, I made one small mistake. Right, and I knew better than to let it go any further than what it has. Luckily, I've learned that, and I reached out to Juan, you know, like, hey, I'm in a dark place. I'm not strung out, but, you know, I'm in a dark place, and I need to get myself in around spiritually fit people before it goes any further.
So you said something that really resonated with me. just trying to go into it too fast, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to move back into life too fast. Trying to get whatever it is of what your dream or your vision or like whatever is like where you want to end up. Because that's why people come to treatment.
Right.
They're unhappy with what they're doing. They realize that they're messing up, or somebody else realizes it for them and they might not want to acknowledge it, but something's not going well. So they end up in treatment. And the goal is to get out of treatment and to go back to quote unquote like life, normal life, right?
Right.
And I've done it 100 times too. I've gone too fast because I wanted to be normal again. And in the beginning it was normal of, let me just go be normal, not use heroin again, but I'm still going to drink with the homies, smoke with the homies. Then I stopped doing that. I'm going to be normal and go be with a girl. That didn't work. Now I'm going to be normal and go to work too soon. You know, like all these things that we want all those things, but there's an appropriate time on when to do those. And it's funny because we were actually talking about this. All these people that we're interviewing that are currently in active addiction, what did they say?
I just want a normal life.
We asked them, when we asked these people, if we, like these are people that are on the streets in active addiction. Like we're finding people in the worst situations that they can possibly be in. And we ask them a question and we say, if you could wave a magic wand and create a life for yourself, whatever you want, like whatever you want, what would it be? And, you know, I'm thinking that these people are going to say, you know, we're going to get a wide variety of answers. I want a Lamborghini. I want $1 billion. I want to live on the ocean. I want, you know, all these different things. No, dude. I shouldn't say everyone, probably 80% of them. I just want a normal life.
I want my family.
I want my family back. Yeah. I want a normal job. I want an apartment. Like these are the things that we're hearing from people that are literally in probably some of the worst situations that human beings can be in, struggling to survive, and they just want normalcy. Man. And that's what we all want. That's why we come into recovery, right? Like we want to be normal again. The trick is patience, man.
Right.
Like that's it. That's patience. I want to see you get it, bro. You have so much potential, Josh. Do you realize that? Do you know that? Do you believe me when I'm telling you that, or do you think I'm just saying? Like, do you feel that you have potential?
Sometimes I feel like that ship has sailed, if I'm being honest. You know, because I've had some really huge doors that have opened for me, and then have been closed. Sometimes due to my own behaviors or due to circumstances that are outside of my grasp. And I wonder, is it too big of a mountain to climb? You know, and that's the fear that takes me back out.
That's what it is, dude. It's fear.
It's fear. It's fear of not living to the full potential. It's fear of inadequacy. You know, I mean, when it boils down to it, it's a large mountain to climb.
Bro, I'm here to tell you the ship hasn't sailed.
No.
There may be some ships that have sailed. You know, like when I got clean, I wasn't going to become a Major League Baseball player again.
Right. That
ship had sailed. But there's ships that haven't even come around to pick you up yet. Right. And you don't even know which one is coming to the dock. And you're going to hop on one of them, dude, if you stay patient. You just have to stay patient because I promise you the ship has not sailed for you to be great at whatever you decide to do.
Right.
Just be patient, bro.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I mean, I think that yes, I can have a positive life and do something that's worthwhile. And that's, I was just clean almost a year, right? But I didn't spiritually get happier. And that's what led me to the darkness. You know what I mean? Is that I didn't find a purpose because I got lazy. I didn't want to keep moving forward. I was okay with where I was at. And my brain needs more than that. You know what I mean? My soul needs more than that. I have to keep climbing. And, you know, I don't look at it as I've failed 32 times. I found out 32 different ways not to stay clean, you know, and that's the perspective. And just coming in here, I might have some data, but I'm still searching for more.
You always will.
I need some more data, man. I need, you know, meaning I don't know everything, right? There's a lot of things I don't know. And one of them is how to live long term in sobriety, and that's what I'm here to figure out, man. Just follow some directions.
Man, just hearing what you said, right? I didn't continue to work on being spiritually happy, and for me, and I think you too, Matt. I in many ways, like my goal changed from happiness to usefulness at some point. You know what I mean? And the longer I love the programs of recovery that are around in the program that I practice, which that's what it is, right? Usefulness became my pursuit. And as a result of being useful, I became purposeful and happy, purposefully whole, and I think that was a difficult thing for me to come to terms with, because I didn't trust that God or the world or myself could even provide me with something to stand on to provide happiness necessarily. And so me ignoring what I feel I'm not getting, or I feel, and just being useful put me into position, and I think it's put us into position, right? And moving through that space and trying to change that attitude response for me, where I might not be happy in this, but I feel useful in it, and I value my usefulness, as my vehicle. That's my ship. My ship is being useful, of maximum service to the world, even when it hurts. And because, dude, you and your experience is so useful. Like, talk about wisdom, talk about knowledge, talk about information, and like you trying to extrapolate all that data, and figure out how to learn from that. But man, for me, a lot of times it was just, I'm going to learn from my data so I can help somebody else not make the mistake, and constantly pursue that regardless of their response. A lot of times people, it fucked me over, right? I tried to help them. They fucked me over.
Right.
They didn't. I tried to be useful. And maybe it didn't turn out how I wanted it to be, but my heart was intact with the fact that my goal was just to be useful, not to the outcome. And so many times I've been fooled by the fact that it's like, well, people betrayed me. And it's like, no, man, I turned my back on the goal. I turned my back on the goal, and the goal is to be useful. And
that brings on the happiness and the purpose, right?
Yep.
I feel like those are the times when we're starting to be like, oh man, I don't know if I'm feeling this shit anymore. I'm unhappy, whatever. That's when you go get useful. Use your experience to like go get outside of yourself, get outside of your own shit, that pity, that fear, whatever it is. Like, you're sitting there. I mean, let's just put this into perspective. You're sitting there feeling whatever sort of negative way that you are, and you decide to just go work with a newcomer that is fucking sitting on their hands because they can't keep them fucking still, dude. Shaking like you were 9 months ago or whatever the hell it was. You know what I mean? When you get to a year and you're just like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like, go be useful to somebody. Man. And how do you not feel gratitude for, life might not be perfect in this moment right now, but how does that not get me outside of my own shit and be like, you know what, I don't really have it that bad. Those are the times when we need to go get active, dude. Like, that is the key, is being useful, like you're talking about, dude. Like, that shit will turn you happy. There's been times in the very beginning where I was dog shit tired, man. I didn't know what I was going to do. I felt like the ship had sailed. I felt like I don't know if it's good. I might be able to stay sober and have a life or something like that, but I don't know how cool it's really going to be. I'll probably live some fucking weird life and maybe have a couple friends. I doubt I'll get a good girl. You know what I mean? I'll probably have a decent fucking job that I probably hate for the rest of my life. And I get outside of my ass and go get fucking useful. And go to an overdose call at a hospital, dude, and be like, God, man, all that shit that I'm projecting of what might happen,
man,
what might happen.
Thank you.
And how thank you for letting me be here today. And through that came opportunities.
And today,
came opportunities. Dude.
So many.
Literally nothing's changed. Like, we still do the same shit.
No.
It's worked. You'll do it, dude. I swear. I mean, it's we overcomplicate it.
Yeah. And that's a big thing that I do all the time, because, education is a double-edged sword. And intelligence is a double-edged sword, because I look into all the what ifs and, the state of the country and like what's going to happen if I put this effort in and then our dollar collapses anyway. Like, I get into political stuff, but I know that that's my addiction so deeply rooted that it's just setting me up for the downfall long before I even get to that point, And,
self-sabotage.
For sure.
So we got a couple minutes left. I want to offer an opportunity for you to ask us some questions.
Okay. All right. Matt, my first question's for you. What was the biggest hurdle to overcome, first off, in getting clean? And second off, what was the biggest help in getting you to get your ball rolling in the ground in the recovery community?
Biggest hurdle. So I was dreadfully afraid of detox. Like, I hated withdrawals. That's why I stayed out there so long and so often. That's why I went to rehab 28 times. That sounds crazy, but a lot of those times I was in rehab for like 24 hours. You know what I mean? Because I hated getting dope sick. My withdrawals were really fucking bad. So that was one of my biggest hurdles. My second biggest hurdle, the last time that I got clean, I shouldn't say second, fear of losing my son and never being able to see my son again. I didn't know. I was afraid to face my son again because I hadn't seen him in like 2 years when I got clean. And so like getting clean, I knew it would take a long time, having to fight and then go back and see him. You know, I thought it was going to take 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. Like, dude, I was deathly afraid of facing him again because like parenthood is so important to me. It's one of the most important things in sobriety for me. And also when I got clean, I had 3 felony warrants in 3 states. So I was very, very nervous about like, why should I get clean if all I'm going to do is go to prison? Like because I had serious charges.
Yeah.
And again, projecting, my son's not going to want to be with me. I'm going to go to prison. All these things that I assumed were going to happen, and none of them even came close to happening. None of them were even fucking close to happening, dude. I saw my son within like, I think it took about a year for me to see him again. Never fucking forgot me, dude. Like never skipped a beat. Jumped in my arms like the last time I saw him was yesterday. Wow. You know, never spent a fucking night in jail. Got probation in 3 different states, dude.
Wow.
With like harsh probation terms, and I had to pay back every penny and all this shit, but I never spent a night in a prison or in a jail cell in recovery.
Wow. Lucked out.
You know, I got really lucky. Yeah. You know what? I want to say I got lucky, but I worked my ass off to make sure that I didn't go to jail.
Right.
I made sure that I did what I was supposed to do, dude. I completed treatment, worked my ass off to start getting active in the community and helping other people and all this shit, so that when I went to the judge, it wasn't all talk, man. I gave him a case. I showed him. I didn't say words to him. I showed him actions.
The courts will work with you if you're proactive.
And they want to. It costs money to keep somebody locked up in the system, right? And they don't want to do that.
Tax dollars.
If you show them that you're rehabilitated, they would prefer to not have to put you in some sort of system. So yeah, they put me on paper and stuff like that and watched me, and I checked in. I did everything they asked me to do. And it was the best thing that ever happened. And my fear of consequences helped push me into service with the community too. You know what I mean? It was like a mutually beneficial thing. It helped me not go to prison, but the fear of prison also helped me get active in the community. And that's really how it happened, man. Like the second part to your question of what really helped me like start getting active into the community, dude, it just truly what it is, dude, is I feel that as people in recovery, we have an obligation to do that. Because nobody's going to do it better than we can. I feel like we're obligated to stay clean and to help other people.
Right.
Like we have an obligation to do that, dude. And and if we can wake our asses up, our selfish asses up, and realize that we truly are so fucking skilled. We have something in us that like you can't create. You can't fucking go to school for. You can't like, you just can't get. We have something in us that is so powerful and innate in nature. Like it is just so beautiful. And if you realize that you have something that is that good within you, like, what the fuck am I going to do by keeping it inside?
Right.
What am I supposed to do with that? I'm obligated, dude. People are dying left and right out here.
Right.
And so I believe that to my core, that like, that is my duty, is to not only stay clean, but like I'm supposed to. Like I'm a piece of shit if I don't. That's just how I feel. Treatment center or not, I feel that's what you're supposed to do as someone that's been through something. And so that belief system, like truly like that value within me, it wasn't even about like, how did I get to doing it? Like I believed that I had to. Mm-hmm. It's just what I'm supposed to do. There's no other option. There is no other option. I have to get my feet wet here. I got to get my hands dirty. And it just turned into something beautiful, dude.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that answer, Juan. I have one. I've watched you in the recovery community for a long time. I remember you coming and picking up carloads of people, sponsoring 6-7 guys at a time, picking them up all the time to take them to meetings and just wearing yourself thin to the bone. When does it deter you from wanting to do that when you see the success percentage of people not be on the good side?
Oh no, man. I mean, nope.
Short answer, no.
No, dude, no. I feel I think me and Matt align and always have kind of aligned really heavily on that end. I mean, there's been times where I've been really, really hurt by things that have happened when I've gotten close to people and they've gone back out. But in my heart, I can look at who I am, how I am, and say, I understand, and I jumped right in to the recovery process, and the things that I read in the literature and the experiences I heard from old timers became my truth, and I adopted the ideology that is in the room, which is very, very strong, spiritually grounded principles, which is seek to understand rather than be understood, love done to be loved, and all those things. So in my heart, I just know that it's the right thing to do, right? No matter what, like if somebody needs something, you show up and do your best to provide. And so even when I'm hurt, man, and I value pain, that was probably the biggest thing when I sat in the FAD meeting room on February 16th of 2016, when I asked for help that day. If something happened or occurred inside of me internally, it was, who am I to run from pain? I felt that it was necessary, and still to this day, I look at it and think I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm not even supposed to be here. And I go through my days like that all the time, where I'm like, I'll get overwhelmed and want to cry. Like, I'm not even supposed to experience this anger. And then I'll start to appreciate it differently. In that moment, right away, I'll be like, because that person's not here that you're talking about, or that person relapsed or whatever it is. And I'm like, I'm mad. Thank God. I get to experience being mad and be sober, and so, wearing myself thin, and this is a question that I get a lot, and a lot of other people have, I think, projected their limitations on me. That's just how God built me. God built me to walk with that weight. I have a capacity to be able to engage in very difficult situations that overwhelm me emotionally. And thankfully, my favorite thing in life is to be emotional.
Definitely a gift.
So if God, presents me with a situation that's painful, my natural tendency is to say thank you. Right. Just to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to experience something, because I'm not supposed to be here. I am not supposed to be here anyway. So, and all those things, for whatever reason, I naturally lean towards optimism or growth or lesson. It's not, this is happening to me. It's happening for me. Right. And I think that is a lot of that is a result of other people ahead of me showing me that if you don't have these certain attitudes, that this is what's going to happen. Because I didn't do 32 times. I didn't do 28 times in treatment. I did one time, and I believed you guys. Yeah. I believed you guys, and I just said, I'm not different, because I had a moment to realize I'm going to die. God gave me grace, and I'm going to believe you, and I'm going to evaluate myself and say, yep, that's true. What you said's true. What you said's true. I'm just like you. I love to get high. I want to be normal. I'm not normal. So what do I got to do? And I still do that. The ship hasn't sailed, bro. And I think about it too, man, like what you said, really quick to preface on something else. Man, you said follow the leader, right? Mm-hmm. Like what I continue to do is follow the leader, and the leader that I have is living outside of this realm. I got God on my side. I got God in my heart, and I have God surrounding my life and everything I do. I believe that the spiritual experience is everything that can be, will be, and has happened. I believe that wholeheartedly. So,
thank you for the information, man. That's amazing. It's been an honor to sit here and talk with you guys, man, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Isn't that crazy that between three people here, we've been to treatment 61 times?
Wow.
It's funny. So when you were saying that, I looked up the significance of the number 61. It says when you see the angel number 61 pop up in your life, your angels are telling you that it's time to take the initiative in your efforts to manifest your material desires.
Whoa.
It's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I want to be with
you.
Serendipitous.
Yeah. Yo, thank you, dude. Appreciate it. For real. It was good. It was good. We got to get you on here again. And I meant everything I said, dude. Like, I want to see you get it. I want to see you prosper, bro. You got so much in you.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
You got to represent for the 05.
I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our show today. Whether you did or didn't, I really don't care, but I hope that you still either like our channel, follow it, share it with somebody else. The ultimate goal. Actually, I do care. Let me say again. I do care.
Cares.
You liked it. I care that you like it. I care about you, all that good stuff. So like us, follow, share it with somebody else. Ultimate goal is to make sure that other people see this, and that's how that happens. You know, you're going to see it more. You're going to share it with somebody else. Somebody needs to hear the messages that we talked about, because there were some good stuff on there. Some good stuff. I know, simp. Make sure, please, guys, like and subscribe. And if you need anything, make sure that you share this information with other people too. We have a hotline. You can call us 419-561-LIFE. Our job on that line is to make sure that you get connected to a resource, whether it's just us listening to you or finding a detox for you wherever you live, or telling you where you can go for a family support group meeting or something like that. Like we want to make sure that you get connected to help. So give us a call if there's anything that we can help you with. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure that you stay in tune with us, and we'll see you on the next episode.